Hello everyone, welcome in. This video I wanted to do more in a classic way, what ASMR used to feel like on YouTube. A lot of the videos that I like to watch are very old. I tend to gravitate towards those kinds of videos because I think they have a certain charm about them that you can't really find in a lot of newer ASMR. Although I do enjoy a lot of newer ASMR as well, it's just this style seems to always pull me back in. So anyway, today will be involving minimal tapping, but definitely some talking. Just gonna give you like a little tour through the makeup that I have. This bag I've had for years. I got this when I was in high school. And I am 28 now, so I've had it for quite a while and it's still going strong. It's a Victoria's Secret bag. And I believe I got this from the actual store itself. I don't think that I got this online. I remember shopping with some friends and picking this one up, so let's get started. I just want to show you what makeup I have. And it involves, honestly, like a good mix of things that are new, but also things that I've had for so long. So let me just take a look here. I'll just pull things out and show you as I have them. So this is a brown eyeliner that I recently got. It's by the brand Ilia. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. But I recently got this one, like within the last couple of months. I've been moving a lot more towards wearing brown eyeshadows, brown eyeliners. I used to wear black a ton, like the whole winged liner and everything like that, but anyway, this is a brown eyeliner and I've really been liking this brand. I think it stays really well, but also it's really easy to get off, which is really important to me, to be honest. But yeah, I've been getting more into like natural browns and earth tones. As I get older, I feel like it does better for me personally in my eyes. I've got green eyes, and I think the black sometimes can make it feel a little too congested around my eye. Like even when I use very minimal black liner, sometimes I just don't like the way that it makes my eyes look. They seem very closed off, which makes sense because black is a pretty dark color, especially when you have like a gel based eyeliner. A black pencil usually does a little bit better for me because it ends up coming out more gray than true black. So I don't really wear a lot of true black anymore around my eyes like I used to when I was younger. Anyway, I'll try not to ramble too much about each thing, but this is a Buxom lip gloss. I think this one was actually a lot newer than some of the other ones I have. I think I have another one in here that maybe I don't have it in here, but I have a couple of these Buxom lip liner or lip glosses, which I really like. The quality is really good. It's really sticky, which I really like about lip glosses. I love a sticky gloss because I feel like it stays a little bit better. But yeah, so I have that one, which is cute, kind of like pinky color. I really only wear this whenever I do makeup looks that have a stronger eye look because it is pretty pink once it's actually on the lip. But otherwise, when I'm going for a more natural look, I tend to go for my tinted lip balms. Just a basic tinted lip balm. This one is like a berry color, and to be honest, it's actually pretty pigmented on the lip, and so I really only do a couple of dabs of this one. and I really like this color. I think this color is really nice. It's the cherry. It's the cherry flavor, and it's a little like berry pink, and so I usually wear this a lot of the time. Most of the time I'll just dab a little bit on my lip just to add a little bit of color, because usually I do some like more natural looks now. So those are, I'll try to keep it organized between lips and eyes. This is another, so I love Milani. This one is more of a shimmer. It's got a bigger doe foot. It's pretty chunky, and it's more of a shimmer. This is actually a lip plumper. So this is the Milani. Let me see if it has the Milani Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumper. Yeah, Keep It Full I think is like the actual product name, Keep It Full Lip Plumper. This one's really good, and I like it because it doesn't sting like some other lip plumpers. It's very gentle, and the color I really like too. The color is a lot more subtle than this one. So this one's more pinky. This one has a little bit more coral to it. So I tend to reach for this one a lot more than this one, for instance. But I love both. Let me see. What else? Okay, we'll go with... So this is a sample size, or like a small size, of the Roller Lash by Benefit. I got this one pretty recently, actually, the same time that I got this brown liner. And also the time that I finally got my hands on a Tarte Shape Tape. Which, if you're into the makeup community, at least a little bit, you've probably heard of this. This is a very, very popular and amazingly formulated concealer. I've really been liking this a lot, but I'll explain a little bit about that in a second. I wanted to talk about the mascara first. So this mascara is the Roller Lash by Benefit, and I just got the small size because I didn't know if I was going to like it or not. I tend to not really care too much about what mascara I have, but I was noticing that the mascaras that I was buying before, they tend to run out and dry out a lot, and I know not to like pump I don't pump my applicators at all. Even in lip balm, I feel like it creates like more air than needs to be in there. And so I don't do that either with my mascara, and that's a thing. Like, if you don't know, pumping your mascara when you're putting it on actually can dry it out faster. So, but even when I'm not doing that, I feel like the drugstore brand mascaras that I have, or that I've used, just run out so fast. And I don't really even wear makeup all that often either. So it's probably just a mix of not using it as often, and it just maybe the formula being a little bit more inexpensive to produce. But this Roller Lash I've really been liking, and so I think that I have finally crossed over into the land of caring about what mascara I use. So I'm really liking this one, and I highly recommend it. They come with the full size, obviously, but they also have these little small size ones that you can get. It's kind of hard to see because I know that I have the black t-shirt here, so you can't really see, but yeah, I think that this one works really, really well. And it doesn't clump. It's not very clumpy. It doesn't dry out like when you're applying it. So that's something that I can't really stand about certain mascaras, is it doesn't give you enough time to play with the product on your eyelashes until it starts drying out. So it's layerable, it's smooth, it's buttery, and I really, really like this one. So I'll talk about my Tarte. I'm gonna move this here just so I can keep it out of the way. This Tarte mascara, this Tarte concealer is one of the most popular ones in the world, I think. It performs really, really well. The formula feels very smooth, very buttery, and they don't run yellow, which I really, really like. I was nervous about this one because, you know, in the store you can't really test it out all as much as you would want to make absolutely sure it's gonna work like under your eyes. I usually just sample, or like I'll swatch things on my wrist, which I know is not the same skin tone as your face and whatever, so I don't know, it's always sort of a gamble I think with concealers and foundation. But this one here I highly recommend if you haven't gotten your hands on one yet. This one is definitely really useful and easy to apply. You don't need, I just use my finger. I use my ring finger to blend it out under my eye and it works just fine. It's perfect. So Tarte Shape Tape, highly recommend. Let's see. So this is a powder that I actually don't even use anymore because it's a little too orangey. Like you can see just against my skin tone here, like I have more of like an olive undertone, I think, more than a warm undertone. And so I don't really use this often. When I do, I'm usually using it just to give myself a little bit more warmth when I need it, but I've had this one for about 10 years. I'm gonna be honest, my makeup, I don't even pay attention to expiration dates. You should. It's really important, especially if you're using makeup on other people. If you're a makeup artist, you definitely need to be paying attention to expiration dates. But for my own personal makeup, I have things in this bag that I've had for 20 plus years, and I was still using it as an adult to this day. So probably don't follow that example. I'm just letting you know that if you also use makeup that's expired, I don't think you should feel bad about it. Number one, because a lot of this makeup can get really expensive, and I don't wear makeup often enough to utilize all of it in time to before it expires. So anyway, small side tangent, but I've had this for a long time and I only use it every now and then, but I keep it in here just as like a for the mirror, to be honest. There's a mirror on this side on the compact, so I keep that in there for when I'm in the car or something and I need or somewhere where there's not a mirror. This is I have a lot of black compacts, I'm noticing. Like I don't have a lot of silver, but even like these ones, my eyeshadow one, this one, even this L'Oreal one, I have a lot of black compacts. But anyways, yeah, this is a Benefit blush from like God knows when. Let me see if I can get this one open. This one's a little funky to get open. I'm trying not to make too much noise. Okay. Yeah, so this one also has a big mirror in it, which I really appreciate, but this is an old Benefit blush that is super, super, super pigmented. And so I use it when I'm doing a very pinky color or like something that's a little bit more girly pop. I'll use this one. But it's like super pigmented, like even just like a little touch, it's like really nice. But yeah, I like the way this color looks on my face. It's called the French Kiss. I don't know if the French Kiss is the name of the, like, I would assume it's the color name because it's right on top of this, and I assume that there were like corals and all that kind of stuff with different names. So this one's called the French Kiss, and let me see. Okay, I was gonna try to see if it had like some sort of date on it because I'm actually curious, but this one I believe belonged to my mom in her makeup kit when I was a kid, and I stole it and now it's mine forever. So this is another lip product that I use sometimes as like a more of a, and it's less of a gloss and more of like a buttery liquid lipstick. I believe it's called lip paint. Yeah, glossy lip paint. I don't know if you can read that on this old camera, but it is by Tarte, of course, and it's called Tarteist. Oh, I'm probably butchering that. But this is a nice one. I like the packaging of this one. I think it's really classy looking. But yeah, this color is nice. It's more of kind of like a nude. It's like more on the nude side of the pink family, I guess. On camera it's coming across more coral, or salmon really, but in real life it's a lot more brown. Like, it's more brown than this. But this is another one that I really like. I don't wear this one as often, to be honest. This one I probably wear like 5% of the time, or I'll use it to layer it with something else. But a great formula, so I keep it, and it also smells pretty good. Actually, this one is the one that doesn't really smell all that great. The one that smells really nice are the Buxom ones, which I think is why I sort of have gravitated towards them over the years, because they always smell. This one smells like cookies. Like, it just has such a good smell that I think I started gravitating towards Buxom ones because of that. But yeah, the Tarte lip paints, they smell like paint. They smell like a lip paint. They don't have like any sort of fragrance. Okay, let's see. Probably gonna speed up just a little bit here. I think I'm taking too much time per item. But I just wanna vibe and show you guys my makeup. I haven't done like a makeup tour like this, I don't think ever. I don't think I've ever done this, so I'm just having such a good time showing you guys. So this is an old NYX, I think this is this is an old NYX concealer, which is way too yellow for me, as you can see. Like, it's just, that's not gonna work. But I don't know why I keep it in here. I think it's probably because at one point I was using it as like an eyeshadow primer. That would make a lot of sense to use the one that doesn't match my face on, like, as a primer for underneath eyeshadows, like very bright colorful eyeshadow looks. So I think I had this in there for that, but I definitely don't need that as much anymore since I do a lot of like natural looks. This is a Too Faced matte. I think this is one of the matte ones. Yeah, the Melted Matte collection. I like it a lot. The actual packaging of it is nice. It has like a final click when it's fully closed. But this formula is really, really buttery smooth. I highly recommend this collection. I don't know if they still sell it, but this was a really good one. A good collection that I got this one from Ulta back when I was in high school. But this is a very bright color, as you can see, so it's pretty rare that I wear this one. But I still really like the formula, and I think it's worth keeping it in my bag for specific events, like weddings or something like that, maybe. This is what I wanted to show you guys. This is a small little plastic cheapy, it was an eyebrow. It was like a black, like a charcoal black and dark coffee brown duo palette for eyebrows. And I got this in an old, do you know those little like makeup kits that your grandma would get you or something for Christmas? And they had like all of it was like a huge like makeup play kit, and so it would have like all types of stuff in it. But my grandma would get me one of those almost every Christmas, I believe. And this was from one of those kits, and for the longest time I used this into my adulthood. Like this, I got this when I was like 7, and I used this into my adulthood because the formula of this coffee brown was the perfect color for my eyebrows. It was so perfect. You had to use the tiniest little bit. It lasted forever, and I could not find a brow product that looked as good as this did on my eyebrows. So I still have like teeny little, you can see like teeny little bits there, but I honestly just keep this in my bag as like a, I feel I would feel wrong throwing it away at this point. It feels like it's part of me, so I kind of just keep this in here as like a little memento while I'm doing my makeup. It kind of reminds me of being a kid, and it makes me feel happy. So this thing was really useful. It's not even a brand, I don't think. Marquin's International. That's all I see. Marquin's International. So maybe I'll try to look for brow products. Maybe they're still making some. So this is a little trio palette, a little trio eyeshadow palette that was part of some sort of MLM at some point. I think this was the MLM, or maybe I don't really know, but I remember these were being sold by one of my mom's friends. So this one, I think this one was also from my mom's collection. She didn't really use these pigments, and they're bright and playful and colorful, so I took it. And I don't really use colors from this as often, to be honest, but I do love this little like earth tone gold shimmer. Sometimes I'll put that on like my lid, like my moving lid, as like a little shimmer. But these other pigments are really like, it's a good formula, so I've kept it all these years because sometimes I do need a bright green or bright orange eyeshadow. But yeah, I think this was part of some sort of MLM at some point, and my mom bought some stuff from her friend, and then it ended up in my case. Same with this one. This one is called Plum. It's like a reddish, it's like a plum color. It's pretty accurate. But this one I love as a blush. I've used this one for years as a little blush. The color is really natural. It's not as pinky, it's more like salmony, sort of, in a way, like a brown salmon mauve, I guess. But I love this one so much. So this one, honestly, even over the Bare Minerals, I think I might have called this Benefit, but this is Bare Minerals, not Benefit. Even though the formula on this one is really, really pigmented and I love it, this color I actually like a lot better, so sometimes I'll even mix these two. This is another one of the melted mattes, so it's the same collection as this one. And this one I honestly don't even wear anymore, ever. I think I just keep it in here because I don't want to let go of my emo days. I'm sort of an elder emo, and I used to wear a lot of like dark colors, and I loved that part of my life with makeup, and I don't look down upon it or anything like that. It's just, it doesn't work for me anymore as an adult. And so I think I keep this in here really as just a memento as well. My makeup bag, honestly, is half of it is just for memory purposes, little sentimental items. But this color and formula, same as this one, is really, really good, and I love that color. So these, the bottom of my makeup bag might be a little dirty, but these are little like lip gloss paints that my partner's mom actually gave to me. She had some extra things that she didn't like for herself, and so she gave these to me, and they're cute. They're like little, like travel size almost, lip gloss paints, and they're pretty pigmented, honestly. I think they were just like a random a random brand that you can get at stores like TJ Maxx or Marshalls or some sort of like, you know, these fast fashion places that they have all these makeup brands. I love looking through those sections. But I think this may have been something like that, and it came in a pack of like 4 different ones. So one of these is more orange than the other, but these are really nice. They're pigmented, and sometimes I like to use them as like a little, just a little dot on my lip, and then I spread it out with my finger. They're that pigmented that I feel like that's all I really need. So this is an old NARS lip crayon. It's an old like classic red NARS, sort of like a wine red, really. It's like this classic like crayon, and I think this was originally a sample size of some kind somewhere, and I picked it up because I was wanting to get more into reds at the time. I think this was also around the time that I was wearing a lot of these colors too. So I was trying to get into like wine reds and stuff like that, so I had picked this up. And I don't wear this a lot. I'll use it sometimes as a layer to add a little bit of red to something, but I don't wear it by itself as often. So now we have, I think this is the brown one. Yeah, this is a dark brown eyeliner. However, it wasn't as dark as I would like it to be. This one actually ends up being more of like a gray brown rather than like a dark coffee brown. So I had this one before. I got it's right here. I thought it was still on that left side. So this one by Ilia is a lot darker, and it's exactly what I wanted. This one actually is a little bit more gray. It's not as dark, it's not as pigmented, so it's still useful for when I need a color like that. But this is the one that I use like as my daily, what I would consider to be an everyday look. Just 2 different pigments for different uses. This is an old L'Oreal like single compact. It's like a really, I use it as like a highlighter or on the moving lid. L'Oreal by the way, L'Oreal Paris, and the back of it, like the label came off, so I don't know anything about it, but it's just like this shimmer highlighter that you can use to enhance whatever. I even have used it on my lips to add a little bit of dimension. And I have a pair of my tweezers, needle nose tweezers. I have this bright ass blue eyeliner that I never use, but I keep it so that I can feel fun, I guess, or just like one day I'm gonna find a use for this. But it is so pigmented. I don't even want to put it on my arm because it like sort of is a little difficult to get off. But it's the Bare Minerals. I remember buying this in the mall. It's the Bare Minerals Intense Cream Glide Eyeliner, and it's waterproof. What I will tell you about this one, it's got a little bit of like eyeliner here on the outside. What I will tell you about this formula is that it is honestly the best eyeliner formula I think I've ever used in my life. This, whatever formula they use to make, I guess the cream glide is their signature, or like the main point of the brand name, but this formula is so good, so good, but I just never wear it because it's so bright and blue that I've never really had a reason to wear it besides like Halloween, using it as a pigment for Halloween stuff that I've done. But I keep it because it's just such a good formula, and it's used, so I can't donate it, and so I don't want to just throw it away because I feel like that would be a waste of money. So I just keep stuff like that because I don't really see a reason to get rid of it. Now this is a cream eyeshadow that I got from Sephora, And this color is one of my favorites to use, even for like everyday stuff. It's like this copper, it's like this, how do I even describe this? Well, the name of the actual color is plum velour, but it's got sort of like a shimmer in it as well. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty, and I use this a lot. Honestly, for everyday looks, I'll use it to put on my lid just a little bit. But yeah, it's really good. It's a really good formula, and it's just the Sephora brand. They probably have versions of the cream shadows still to this day, but I remember this one was pretty old. I got this one when I was in high school. So now this one, I actually need to, I've got like concealer and stuff in the bottom of this bag. I should have cleaned that before. It's okay. Nobody's perfect. So this is an old, really probably my like darkest and most pigmented color. It's like this almost black, deep purple that I used a lot more when I was in high school, when I was used to doing my makeup a lot more. Or like the 2016 style of makeup where like we would carve out our eyebrows with concealer, like full beat. This is that era. This was my 2016 obsession. It's just dark lip looks. Sort of like the same vibe as this one. Like I believe I got this one the same time I got the other two melted matte ones. These two that I showed you earlier. I believe I got all three of these in one day from the same Sephora. I love that purple, but I don't have any practical use to wear it anymore, so I never wear it anymore, but I definitely still love it. And I think maybe one day I'll have another use to wear it, and then I'll have it. So this is the same formula as the dark brown eyeliner that I said wasn't dark enough for me. The other NYX dark brown eyeliner, this is just the black version of that, which this is very standard, and a lot of times I'll use this under my, like the waterline on my top, the tight line. Basically the waterline of your top lid is called your tight line, I believe, and I usually will put a little bit of this, even when I only use the coffee, like dark brown. Even when I'm only using this, I'll usually tight line with this just to add a little bit more depth on the top. I just have two more things in here. This was an old, like the actual labels have rubbed off. This was an old NYX eyeshadow primer, which still works really well. It's just like a standard little primer, so I still use this under my eye looks. And then the last thing in this bag is my brown lip liner. I used brown lip liner once I started getting more into like this Milani lip balm, or this Milani lip gloss with the shimmer. It's a little bit of a plumper. I like to use the brown liner first to add a little bit of dimension to the lip, especially my top lip, and then adding the gloss over top, like a very thin layer of gloss that I even like buff out with my finger. But the brown liner I really just use for definition on my lips, and this one's a really good formula. It is, I think the actual words of the brand have run off at this point, but I think this was, I want to say this was a NYX brand. This might have been NYX, or it's possible it was just Tarte, or maybe even older brand. I can't remember honestly. But yeah, that's my main makeup bag. Honestly, the majority of the time if I'm doing my makeup, I'm gonna be wearing this concealer. I'm going to be wearing this tinted balm on my lip, a little mascara, and like a little bit of shadow, cream shadow, this blush, and depending on, I don't usually use these together, but depending on what look I'm going for, I will usually use, where's that brown liner? I keep losing it. This dark brown liner I'll use and usually buff that out, or and add a little bit of this plum to it. This is usually, besides the, of course, like the brushes or whatever, but this is like my go-to handful of makeup for my makeup look. Just a very basic, because sometimes I don't even have time to do shadow, and so sometimes I'll even omit that completely and just focus on defining my eyes a little bit and adding a little color to my cheeks and calling it a day. But this collection, I actually got rid of a lot of makeup to get down to this amount of makeup, and this is the only makeup that I have besides actually, yeah, I think this last time that I went through everything, this is the only makeup that I own now, besides my palettes. I have a couple of eyeshadow palettes. I have the ColourPop Twilight themed eyeshadow palette. I have the, it was called the Renaissance. It was like something Renaissance palette, I believe. It was called Queen. It was called Queen of Rain or something like that. I can't exactly remember, but it's like rain something. Oh gosh, I can't remember. I wish I could remember. But that's like a lot of like dark purples and oranges, things that go well usually with green eyes. And then I also have a super old Kat Von D Shade Light palette, which I used a lot for my contour. But I still use it for like my brows or whatever to this day. But yeah, thank you for joining me today. That's gonna be it for today's video. I just wanted to give a little makeup tour and also test out this old camera that I found, that I almost forgot that I had. It was in the closet in one of my old boxes, and I figured, hey, let's try out some OG ASMR, because I know I love those videos to this day. But yeah, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for listening to me talk about my makeup. I had a lot of fun showing you guys my collection. It's not a huge collection, but it's just all the things that I actually like to use either every day or on occasion, instead of having just a huge makeup collection that I don't even use. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I will be back in another video very soon, and until then, I hope that you take care of yourself. Make sure you're staying hydrated, drinking lots and lots of water, and I will see you in the next video.